The storm began earlier than expected. Thick gray clouds rolled across the sky of Planet Drax-14 as the mining outpost lights flickered in the distance. Evan Cole, a human engineer and maintenance worker, stood alone near the forest relay tower, wishing he had finished his job an hour earlier. The temperature was dropping, the wind was rising, and every warning from the locals echoed inside his mind. Do not stay in the forest after dark. But he had no choice. The relay tower had failed again, and he was the only one available to repair it. He tightened the bolts, checked the wires, and tried to ignore the strange sounds coming from the trees behind him. At first, they were soft rustling, snapping, light footsteps. He told himself it was only wind, or maybe one of the harmless native animals. But then he felt it. A presence, not just something watching him. Something studying him. Evan turned slowly, hand on his pulse pistol. His scanner beeped once, then died. The comms on his wrist crackled and went silent. Every device he had blinked red, then shut down completely, and then his helmet screen displayed a message he had never seen before. Unknown alpha life form approaching. His heart began to race. He wasn't supposed to be out here without a team. He wasn't supposed to be out here alone at night at all. And now, whatever creature the locals whispered about was hunting him. The forest wind died. The world became quiet, too quiet. A shadow moved behind a large tree. Then another. Then something large passed behind him so fast he felt the air shift. He spun around, raising his pistol. Who's there? No answer, but he heard breathing. Slow, deep, powerful, not human. Not machine. Not a wild monster either. It sounded controlled, intelligent. Evan stepped back. His foot slipped on wet leaves, and he almost fell until something pushed him from the side. Not violently, almost gently. Just enough to stop him from landing on a sharp rock. He froze. Why would a predator save him? Before he could think, two silver eyes appeared in the fog. They glowed softly, not like a beast, but like a star reflecting on water. The shape stepped forward, tall, strong, broad shoulders, long white silver hair flowing like a mane. Sharp claws, but a soft, almost human face. A Wolf alien girl. Her voice was low, calm, and strange. Evan Cole. He dropped his pistol. How do you know my name? She stepped closer. Moonlight brushed her face, showing her beauty and power. She had wolf-like ears, silver markings on her skin, and eyes filled with something he did not expect: curiosity. I am Ravena, she said. Warrior of the Lunarus Wolf clan. My people have watched humans for many seasons, but I have watched you longer than the rest. Evan stared at her, confused and scared. Why me? She touched his arm. Her claws were sharp, but her hand was warm. The moment she touched him, a strange heat ran through his skin, like energy moving into him. You carry the hunter's mark, she said softly. A calling only my kind can sense. Evan shook his head. I don't even know what that means. It means, she whispered, lowering her face near his, that one night was enough. You are mine now. He stepped back, shocked. I belong to no one. Ravena's eyes narrowed, not angrily, but protectively. If I do not claim you, others will come. They will take you, and you will not survive their claws. As she spoke, the forest suddenly shifted again. Leaves trembled. Branches cracked. The ground vibrated like something heavy was moving fast. Ravena's ears lifted. Her eyes sharpened. Too late. They already smell you. She grabbed Evan by the waist and pulled him behind her. Her claws extended, glowing with a faint blue light. What's coming? Evan whispered. Hunters, she growled. Stronger than me. But they will not touch what I have claimed. The trees shook violently. Growls echoed from the darkness. 3, maybe 4 predators circling them. Evan felt Ravena's muscles tense as she prepared to fight. "Stay behind me," she whispered. "No matter what happens." Evan realized something terrifying but true. This Wolf alien girl was the only thing keeping him alive. The darkness moved. The predators charged. Ravena roared and leaped forward. The night exploded into chaos. The night exploded with sound. Ravena launched forward like a silver storm, her claws glowing with blue light, slashing through the darkness. Evan stood frozen behind her, heart pounding so hard he could hear it over the howls of the predators. Shadows rushed in from all sides fast, heavy and vicious. Eyes glowed yellow and red between the trees. These were nothing like Ravena. They were larger, bulkier, their bodies twisted with rage. Their fur was black like burning coal, and their jaws snapped with hunger. Ravena blocked the first attacker with her forearm, sparks flying as claws hit claws. She spun low, kicked the creature in the chest, and sent it crashing into a tree. Before she could stand, two more leaped at her. Evan wanted to run, but fear froze him. He had never seen a real fight like this, not on Earth, not on any colony world. This was primal, raw, deadly combat. Ravena moved like lightning, but even she was struggling. The enemy wolves were stronger than he expected. One of the beasts landed behind Evan. He gasped and stepped back. Its breath smelled like rotten meat. Its yellow eyes locked on him with hunger. "Ravena!" Evan shouted. The creature lunged. Ravena turned, screamed, and slammed into it mid-air, her claws sinking into its side. She threw it away from Evan and stood between him and the predators again, breathing hard. Blood dark blue dripped down her arm. "You are not safe when you stand alone," she growled. "Stay close to me." Evan nodded quickly. He didn't argue this time. He stepped close enough that he could feel the heat from her body. The predators circled them again, growling, testing her. Ravena wiped blood from her mouth and whispered, "They are night stalkers. They follow the scent of fear and the call of the hunter's mark." Evan swallowed. "This mark? Why do I have it?" She didn't answer. "Not yet." Two night stalkers charged at once. Ravena reacted instantly. She grabbed Evan by the collar and threw him sideways gently enough, not to hurt him, but hard enough to move him out of danger. Evan rolled across the mud, pushing himself up just in time to see Ravena slash the first beast across the throat. The second beast bit her shoulder. Ravena roared in pain. Evan panicked. "Ravena!" The beast's jaws clenched deeper into her flesh. But Ravena didn't fall. Instead, she twisted her body, grabbed the creature's neck, and crushed it with pure strength. Its body hit the ground with a heavy thud. Breathing hard, shaking, she looked at Evan again. "There is one more." The biggest night stalker stepped out of the dark. Its eyes glowed red. Its size was nearly double the others. Black spines grew from its arms. Its breath came out in hot steam. Even Ravena stepped back. "That is their alpha," she whispered. "He wants you more than anyone." "Why me?" Evan shouted. Ravena didn't reply. Her jaw clenched. She pushed Evan behind a fallen log. "Stay down. Do not move." The alpha charged out. The ground shook under its weight. Ravena met him in the middle with a roar. Their bodies collided like two massive forces. The alpha grabbed Ravena by the throat and lifted her easily. Ravena slashed his arm, but it barely cut through his thick hide. Evan watched helplessly. Ravena fought harder than the others, but she was weaker than the alpha. The monster slammed her into a tree. She coughed, struggling to breathe. The alpha raised his claws for the killing strike. Evan's instincts screamed at him to hide, to stay still, to survive. But he couldn't watch Ravena die. Not after she risked everything for him. He jumped out from behind the log. "Hey, over here!" The alpha turned its burning red eyes toward him. Evan lifted a broken piece of his scanner and threw it at the creature. It hit the Alpha's chest and bounced off harmlessly, but it was enough. The Alpha charged toward Evan. Ravena's eyes widened. No! Just before the Alpha reached Evan, Ravena leapt onto its back, stabbing her claws deep into its spine. The Alpha roared in agony, thrashing wildly. Ravena hung on with everything she had, pushing her claws deeper. Deeper, the Alpha collapsed. Silence fell over the forest. Ravena stumbled and fell to her knees, panting. Her body shook from pain. Evan rushed to her side. You saved me again," he whispered. Ravena looked at him with tired eyes. "You risked yourself for me. A human would not normally do that." Evan helped her sit. "Maybe I'm not a normal human." Her lips curved into a weak smile. "No, you are not." Then her expression became serious again. "You asked why you have the hunter's mark." She touched his chest with her glowing claws. "It is because you were chosen. You belong to my clan. And I am the one who claimed you." Evan stared at her, shocked. "But I never agreed to that." Ravena leaned close. "It does not matter. Fate has already chosen for you." A cold wind passed through the forest, and distant howls echoed far away. Ravena slowly stood up, still bleeding. "More dangers will come. And if I do not take you to my land, you will die." Evan felt a chill run through him. "Your land? Where is that?" Ravena extended her hand. "The moon forest of Lunaris. My home, a place no human had ever entered until now." Ravena's hand hovered in front of Evan, her claws glowing faintly with blue energy. The storm clouds above them shifted, lightning flashing across the dark sky. Evan hesitated, looking at her extended hand, then at the dead night stalkers around them, thought she was wounded, bleeding, barely standing, and yet she still stood between him and every danger. He slowly placed his hand into hers. The moment their skin touched, a warm energy spread through his arm, traveling to his chest like a heartbeat that wasn't his. Ravena's ears twitched. She closed her eyes for a brief moment. "The bond strengthens," she whispered. "Good. I can protect you better now." Evan's voice trembled. "What exactly did I agree to?" Ravena didn't answer with words. Instead, she pulled him close, lifted him onto her back effortlessly despite her injuries, and began running toward the deeper parts of the forest. Evan wrapped his arms around her shoulders tightly as the world blurred. Trees rushed by, wind stung his face, and the ground disappeared beneath Ravena's fast, silent steps. She moved with a speed he didn't think was possible, her body warm and solid beneath him. "Is this safe?" Evan shouted over the wind. "For you," she said. "Always." There was something about the way she said it, protective, certain, final, that made Evan hold on even tighter. The moon forest of Uluanarias. After minutes of running, the trees opened into a strange clearing. Light shimmered in patterns across the ground. Strange plants glowed softly like tiny blue lanterns. The air grew warmer, filled with a faint humming sound. Evan blinked. "This place isn't on any human map." "It is not for humans," Ravena said. "Only Lunaris wolves walk this land." Evan slid off her back as she gently lowered him. She stumbled slightly when she stood, clutching her bleeding shoulder. "You're hurt." Evan stepped toward her, worried. "Let me help," Ravena growled, not in anger, but in warning. "Do not touch the wound. The venom from a night stalker burns through human skin." He froze. "You could have told me that sooner." She smirked weakly. "You held on to me the whole time. You are alive. That is enough." Evan shook his head, frustrated. "You're too careless with yourself." Her expression softened. "I am only careless when the one I protect matters more than my pain." Evan didn't know what to say to that. Ravena motioned for him to follow her deeper into the glowing forest. Ravena's secret essence HFY. entered a large cave-like structure formed naturally from glowing crystal trees. Inside, the walls hummed with energy. Strange patterns flowed across the stone floor like living ink. "This is my sanctuary," Ravena said. "No predator will enter here." As Evan stepped inside, the air felt warm and safe, almost comforting. Ravena removed the fur armor from her shoulder, revealing deep bite marks and blue blood slowly dripping. Evan frowned. "You're losing too much blood. Is there some kind of medicine? Something I can get you?" Ravena knelt on the glowing floor. "There is, but it is dangerous." "What kind of medicine?" She looked up at him, silver eyes glowing in the dim light. "A moon crystal seed. It heals quickly, but draws predators if it is used outside my land. I must take it here. Where is it?" Ravena pointed to a high crystal platform. "Up there. The seed grows in a nest of spirit wasps." Evan blinked. "Wasps? They are small but lethal, and you want me to climb up there?" Ravena nodded once. "You are marked. They will not kill you. They will sense the bond." Evan sighed. "Oh sure, great, perfect." He looked up at the crystal structure. It was tall, slippery, and glowing. One wrong step and he would break every bone in his body, but Ravena was fading fast. Her breathing grew shallow. Her eyes dimmed. Evan clenched his fists. "I'll get it." The CLMB Evan climbed, slowly gripping glowing branches and crystal steps. The humming of the forest grew louder as he reached the top. At the center of the platform, he saw a nest made of silver fibers. Inside it, a glowing blue seed dot and dozens of spirit wasps flying around it. Their wings shimmered, leaving trails of light behind them. Evan took a deep breath. "Please don't sting me." He reached forward slowly. The wasps circled him, their sharp legs brushing his skin, but they didn't attack. They only scanned him and drifted away. Evan grabbed the seed and hurried back down to Ravena. The healing Ravena lay on the floor, breathing heavily. Her body trembled with pain. Evan knelt beside her. "I got it," he said softly. Her eyes opened slowly. "Good. Crush it on the wound." Evan pressed the seed against her shoulder. The moment it touched her skin, light burst out of it, spreading across her body in glowing lines. Ravena gasped, arching her back as the healing energy surged through her. Within seconds, the wound closed. The blood stopped. Her strength returned. She sat up slowly, breathing deeply. Evan smiled. "You're okay." Ravena stared at him for a long moment, then placed her clawed hand gently on his cheek. "You are brave," she whispered. "Braver than most of my kind. I did not choose wrong." Evan's face warmed under her touch. "I only did what anyone would do." "No," she said firmly. "Only someone bound to me would risk this much." Her voice dropped into a soft, almost intimate tone. "And you are bound. More than you know." Evan's heartbeat quickened. "What does that mean?" Ravena leaned close, her breath warm against his ear. "It means the bond is no longer one-sided. I claim you, but now you claim me too." Evan froze, shocked. Before he could speak, the ground trembled. Ravena's expression darkened. "We are not alone. Someone followed our trail. Predators? Other wolves? Or something worse?" Ravena stood, claws ready. "Stay behind me," she whispered. "This danger is not from my world." The ground trembled again, slow, heavy vibrations like something metallic was walking through the glowing forest. Ravena's ears twitched sharply. Her claws extended, glowing faint blue. Evan could feel the tension in the air shift from danger to something worse. "Ravena," he whispered. "That doesn't sound like an animal." She nodded. "Because it is not. This sound does not belong to my world." The humming of the moon forest dimmed as if the trees themselves had gone silent. Ravena stepped forward, placing herself fully between Evan and the entrance to the cave sanctuary. Her stance was low, protective, ready to attack. Evan's pulse raced. Who would follow us out here? Humans can't track through this forest. Ravena didn't look back at him as she answered. Not humans. Not predators. Something else. Something old. Evan swallowed. Old? Older than my clan, she said quietly. Older than this forest. Her tone made him shiver. Suddenly, a bright white beam swept across the trees, cutting through the darkness. Evan shielded his eyes as the beam passed close to the cave entrance. Ravena growled. A seeker drone. Evan's heart dropped. From the mining company? No, Ravena said. Human drones do not have a soul core. Before Evan could ask what that meant, a giant shape moved out of the shadows. A massive creature, mechanical but alive, stepped into the glowing clearing. It had the shape of a wolf, but its body was made of dark metal plates and moving energy lines. Its eyes were bright amber, and its breath came out as thin smoke. Evan whispered, What is that? Ravena's muscles tightened. A soul hunter. A machine forged with a living spirit inside. They hunt anything marked by ancient power. Evan felt his chest grow cold. And I'm marked. Ravena stepped forward, claws glowing brighter. It wants you. It was drawn by your bond to me. The soul hunter turned its head slowly, locking onto them. The ground shook with every heavy step. Ravena lowered herself, ready to leap. Stay behind me. Do not run. It will chase. The soul hunter raised its head and released a deep mechanical howl that echoed across the forest. So loud the crystal trees vibrated with light. Ravena growled back. Baring her fangs. Evan had never seen anything like it. Two wolves facing each other, one made of living flesh and spirit, the other of metal and fire. The soul hunter charged. Ravena sprang forward. Their bodies collided with a blast of energy, sending sparks and blue light into the air. The sound echoed like metal tearing against thunder. The soul hunter snapped its metal jaws at Ravena's neck. She dodged, slashing across its head with her claws. The impact sent glowing sparks into the air, but barely dented its armor. It swung its massive metal tail, hitting Ravena in the ribs. She flew back, crashing into a crystal wall. Ravena! Evan shouted. She struggled to stand, coughing. The wound she had just healed tore open again. Blue blood dripped down her arm. The soul hunter turned toward Evan. Ravena screamed. No! She sprinted at the machine with pure rage. Her claws glowed white-hot this time. She was using her full power. She slashed across its legs, breaking one in half. The soul hunter stumbled, sparks shooting from the broken joint, but the machine recovered instantly, its amber eyes burning brighter. It jumped into the air, landing right in front of Evan. Evan fell back, terrified. The soul hunter's metal head lowered, scanning him. A voice vibrated from its core, cold, metallic, ancient. The marked one. Identified. Ravena roared and leapt onto its back, stabbing her claws into the soul hunter's energy core. The machine convulsed, releasing a burst of blinding light. Get down! She yelled. Evan dropped to the ground. The soul hunter exploded in a shockwave of burning sparks and black smoke. Ravena was thrown backward, crashing hard onto the glowing floor. Evan scrambled up and ran to her. Ravena! Ravena! She lay still for a moment, then opened her eyes weakly. It is dead. But more will come. Evan shook his head. How? Why me? Why this mark? Ravena lifted her hand, placing it on his chest right where the hunter's mark pulsed faintly beneath his skin. You are not just marked.